Welcome back to Let's Play Blood Will Tell. Just finished off the Minotaur here on Fudo Mountain. We're heading back into the cave.
Really wish all boss battles were like that.
In a perfect world. In fact, we are very near another boss battle, which is not nearly as impressive, unfortunately.
No, it's just one of the one-legged, one-armed yokai.
No, he's got all of his parts and then some, as we're going to see.
It sounds somewhat interesting at the very least. You keep missing that.
Yeah, I kind of suck at those. They're harder than they look, I swear.
Huh? He gets his strength from all the faces on his body! You gotta destroy them!
Aren't those faces still alive?
The people whose faces were stolen are being held captive! I'm sure the faces will return to their owners if you destroy them!
I love that line.
Understood.
I somehow know everything about this. Somehow.
I can just imagine that all the people we're about to quote-unquote save are going to be walking around with their faces sliced in half and burned up for the rest of their lives. Because that's how Yaki saved them.
Oh god. Really?
Yeah, this boss fight is not very good. He's just going to slowly wander around, fire weak attacks at us, and not really do much of anything. Coming down from the Minotaur, this is pathetic.
No, but it's pretty cool design overall.
Oh yeah, he looks excellent. He's based on a Fudo statue.
Fudo? Okay, I was gonna say Hindu, but you know. That...
Yeah, it's a Buddhist thing. It's a representation of strength and self-control. It's funny though, in the comics, when they beat this guy, they realized that he wasn't a Fudo statue at all. He was just a big rock that moss had grown onto, and then a demon possessed the moss and took the shape of a Fudo.
Okay.
Yep. Just a weird note.
Of all things, so it was living moss overall.
Mm-hmm. That was the big end of chapter boss. However, he's the one who was stealing the faces in the comics, although he was just wearing them on his face, not all over his body. And he was using a spirit that took the shape of a woman who could transform into any woman she wanted to. And she was she actually took the shape of Dororo's mother to sort of lure him in because she was going to steal Dororo's face. But Dororo was so adorable that he activated her motherly instincts and she couldn't kill him.
What?
Yeah, she literally faded out of existence rather than kill Dororo. Because she defied her primary objective.
Oh god, no.
All in service of this chump. Who has Marge Simpson hair.
Oh, you got your right eye.
I got something.
Oh.
Who knows what?
You got a bigger nose. That's what you got.
Yes, indeed.
Oh right, this is where he gets the nose. Or no, he got the nose from the Ninetales in the comic book, but here is where they.
Yeah, and now he finally has it in the game. It's funny he mentioned being able to smell demons in the very first chapter of the game, because now he literally can.
What are you yapping about? You slipped up and got caught.
Slipped up? This is
Oh, thank God he finally calls him out on his bullshit.
Well,
Thanks to me, you didn't do shit, bro.
Yeah, a lot of callouts in this chapter.
Hey now, wait a second. I've made up my mind. I've decided that I'm staying with you until I get my hands on that sword.
Huh, suit yourself.
And that katana.
No, he's got that specific left-hand sword in mind for some reason.
Dororo. Hyakimaru. The gates of hell await you. Let's get off this mountain, Dororo.
I gotcha.
Still, he just can't stop being cryptic.
Yeah, he's weird. And he's our pretty much main nemesis at the moment. Dororo won't give up all those goodies that he has down at the bottom of the screen there.
He is your Virgil. Something Dante, whatever. I've never been really good at that. He is the Virgil to your Dante. There, that is the proper way of saying things. God.
I'll allow it.
This temple is where all the faceless people were being held.
So yeah, we should go down there, save those faceless people whose faces we just ruined. But we don't have to. After killing the Fudo, the chapter is technically over, and we can just up and leave.
Well, oh, okay. Yeah, that makes perfect sense.
Okay, we can just break that down. The demon ore is gone. And just ship right off.
Well,
obviously, we are not going to do that.
Well, no, but that's just...
Yeah, it's very weird that they even allow that, because, I mean, there's, you know, endangered people and fiend that wandered off into the temple that we know about.
Yeah, outside of the fact that it's just not be part of Hyakimaru's thing to just, I wouldn't say ignore innocent civilians, but more or less just ignore the fact that, oh hey, this bastard has my body part.
Yeah, it's wildly out of character, but I guess that's what happens when you let us control the guy. Really, they should have made that a forced section, making us come down here.
It would only make sense. So is this then considered a hidden fiend?
Technically, yes. For all intents and purposes, this is a hidden fiend. Now, obviously we're going down here to kill Redcap, but what we really want while we're down here is a brand new sword.
Another brand new sword?
Yeah, the one we just got upstairs was a regular ice sword, which we have an ice sword +2, so that one's not very exciting. But we, in the depths of the temple, we're going to get a really good sword. It's going to finally replace the 7-body slasher.
Oh god. Is it the 8-body slasher?
No, the 7-body slasher is actually the top of the line for the slasher line of swords. So we're going to a whole new genre of swords now.
The Buster Murasama Keyblade Edge.
Yep, you got it in one. Very impressive.
Just trying to think of all the stupid crap that people really have way too much enamoring for.
Oh yeah.
A demon aura.
Oh, there's our first use of the demon-smelling nose.
Oh.
It also vibrates the controller. Exciting stuff.
Damn you, Hyakimaru! You've let all of my followers escape! Their prayers were
Cannot
my
take this guy seriously.
my nourishment.
Yeah, he's goofy. That's sort of why in the comics they make a point of, you know, saying he's got a demon aura, but he's also got sort of a spirit in him. And that's why Hyakimaru doesn't immediately kill him the first time he meets him. Because he's kind of a doof.
But then Hyaki was like, you know what? I probably want that pancreas.
Because it turns out that he's very obviously evil when he attacks him.
Wait, you already got a pancreas, don't you?
That I do.
Oh, damn.
Got it from, I think, the six-tailed fox.
Spleen, then.
And this fight, of course, is very simple. It's basically the same as the first time we saw him, but with more green electricity balls.
They are actually trying to hit you this time, so...
Yeah, they're actually homing, which makes them a potential threat. But he loses the ability to transform into vermin, so he's much more vulnerable than he used to be. Now, you mentioned he's based on that one monk who has the long neck.
Yeah.
And he definitely has shades of that. He's really an amalgam of a bunch of things, the least of which being his namesake, the Red Cap, which is like a goblin who kills people to soak his hat in blood, and if his hat dries out, he dies.
Wow.
This guy does kind of look like that, but he obviously doesn't have a cap at all, so...
Nor the incessant need to murder people. Well, potentially.
Just enslave them.
Yeah.
Yeah. But first and foremost, he is based on a specific yokai, an individual called Teso, I believe.
Mm-hmm.
Who was like a monk who he prayed for a emperor to have an heir, and the emperor did. So the emperor was going to build him a temple of his very own, but a rival Buddhist temple said don't do it. So the emperor never did, and the monk went on a hunger strike and died. And then he came back as a ghost and killed the emperor's new heir. And then he came back as a rat man, like so, and summoned a million billion rats, and they ate the other temple that said not to build the first temple.
Gotta love the like how they do this. It's always like stories of revenge of some sort.
Yeah, always revenge. And always bizarre.
Oh no, Yaki lost his left arm.
The moment Dororo's been waiting for. And most of the viewers. So there's been a lot of curiosity about what happens when he loses his sword arms.
It becomes Genbu. Genbu. Or it is Genbu.
Yeah, this is an excellent upgrade. I mean, plus 7 HP, look at that.
Jackie, you okay?
I think so.
By the way, where did the prosthetic arm go?
Not
It
so fast.
disintegrated, I guess.
It's not like you need it anymore.
I've still got plenty of uses for it.
What? This
The
doesn't
real thing.
Feels much detach?
It's useless. No, it's actually absurdly useful. Now one-hand is katana like it's nothing.
Faster and stronger. Nothing like the real thing. Let's get off this mountain, Dororo.
Now what that basically means is we can carry our main katana while we have our sword arms out.
That's actually really cool.
It's really badass looking, and it's a just insane boost to the power of the sword arms.
Oh my god.
So, yeah. Not only that, but our severed arm has become Genbu, which is an excellent, excellent sword, which I'm going to equip right now. It starts out at whatever level it was when you got your left arm back, but it levels up, just like it used to.
Oh, that's hardcore. That is really awesome.
Mm-hmm. This is the first upgrade in the game where you feel like you have seriously become the full potential of what Hyaki is going to be when he gets his body back. You really start to see why he is the chosen one. Because he is a serious badass.
Sadly, that one doesn't seem to have the cool glow that the other sword does.
It does have a little effect to it. It's not nearly as impressive as the 7-body slasher, though. We did come all the way back to this part of the temple here for this hidden fiend,
I'm done for.
who's a rehash of the one from the first level.
Looks kind of like the clay dolls. They're
Is there a traditional Japanese clay doll that looks kind of like this?
well, not exactly like this, but it has they have something that looks somewhat kind of like that, and it's
Because in the description of the first version of this boss, it says that the boss is a doll that gets buried with people, and then if you bury enough, it turns into a demon.
I know there are dolls like that. This is not one of them. It's generally like a those kind of dolls. I forgot. I really wish I knew what the name is. It's generally for children, specifically for children, actually. But yeah, it's like, you know, whenever a child dies, they kind of they get buried with a really creepy looking doll. Like, it is really fucking creepy if you were to see it.
Is it one of those Hazuki dolls, like from the Fatal Frame 4 Let's Play?
Yeah, pretty much.
That makes sense. So this is kind of an amalgam of those two ideas.
It seems like it. I know Japan really loves clay dolls, just overall. Almost any sort of thing that has some sort of mythical feel to it will have a clay doll of some sort. I know there's something more recent, but one of the Kamen Rider Kamen Rider things, I don't know what you would call them, series, even though they're all like different universes and crap. Like one of the main bad guys was pretty much a clay doll, so it was, and they use it for a lot of things. And right now I'm just drawing blanks on some of the ideas, but I do think that the Castlevania games have a couple instances of clay dolls, and
yeah, it's interesting. I was always wondering what those guys are based on.
Yeah.
I kind of thought it was Roberto from Futurama.
No. No. Oh God.
The other hamburger will also be made out of my large intestines, it turns out. So we technically have the entire digestive system. There are 2 more parts of it. But the esophagus is still useless.
Well, isn't the fact that you need the esophagus to have the other parts, like the esophagus is supposed to be useful once you get all the parts, right?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's the idea, but we have the 4 main parts. Like, we have a complete circuit at this point, and we still don't have any abilities tied to the esophagus.
That's weird.
So I still don't get the point of it. But I guess we'll find out.
Eventually, right?
Yeah. And there in the distance is that shitty bridge we had to cross earlier. And you may have noticed that we're still not going towards the exit, because there is one last hidden fiend in this chapter.
My demon sense is tingling.
It will be shortly. For the record, there is nothing over there. Just went over there to confirm that.
You got, you know, it's 100% Let's Play, you gotta make sure.
That's right. I'm gonna show on video me retracing my footsteps to everywhere in the entire game just to make sure that I've got everything.
Could you, in theory, go back to like the starting village at this point, or is that just replay only?
The only place I can't go back to is the prologue.
Right.
All the other chapters are replayable. So technically the very starting village I couldn't go back to. Oh, and we're killing wheels again. Just keep coming. Eventually we're gonna kill them all, and at such time we will summon a very unsurprising boss.
Is it a wheel?
It's a wheel. Believe this is the final one here.
I was losing track, but I was really kind of hoping that you just killed 4 wheels and then fucking like pimped out like Mustang just rolls in the battle. It's like, yo, what are you doing with my spinners?
Nothing so cool, unfortunately.
Giant Inferno Wheel. Not like we haven't seen this before.
It's so similar to the giant fire wheel we saw in Chapter 2, and That was such an uninteresting battle. I don't know why they would reuse it. And this fight is awful. I despise this fight. It's kind of a shame that I ended the video on this one when there were so many excellent boss fights in this chapter. He's so difficult to hit with the cannon shells, and nothing else does any decent damage. We do actually have a decent use for the Guardian Orb's spirit attack that we got this chapter, which I didn't speak much about, but the fact that it centers on Gaki the entire time it's out makes it extremely useful for bosses that run around a bunch like this guy. Because he wouldn't stand in place long enough to take any of the other spirit attacks that we have.
The only problem with the spirit attacks is that you have to attack and actually land hits. And right now it just seems like this guy is just... Wow, that is a huge hurt box.
Yeah, it's absurd. Like his entire front, if you go anywhere near it, there you go. Go flying across the screen.
Oh, wow, yeah. At first I just thought the mobility was the reason that it was annoying, but no!
Yeah. Like, his area of damage is sort of shaped like a bracket, so it like goes out from the front of his tire there. So if he moves forward or backwards while you're attacking his face, you get hit.
Oh,
And he's always moving forward and backwards.
that's obnoxious.
Yeah. The small, like, positive about this is that every single time you get hit, you fill your spirit gauge a little bit.
Oh, there you go.
So, yeah, most of my spirit gauge has been filled just by getting hit, not even by doing attacks.
Martyrdom.
Yep. And he does very poor damage like he did the first time. So this fight isn't difficult at all, it's just really long.
Yeah. I see you went back though to just single-handed the sword. Is there a benefit to it, or should you always just kind of have the two?
There's actually a real important give and take and situational uses for both sword styles at this point. The main difference being that when you single-hand the sword, or rather don't use your arm sword in addition to the katana, you can do critical hits. If you have your sword arms out, you can't do critical hits.
Oh.
Yeah, so if I hit him in the head while I'm just using a katana, it does 2 or 3 times as much damage.
Oh, that's actually really cool. Fairly neat gimmick.
Yeah, absolutely. Both versions of the ways to use the sword now are extremely useful in different situations. So you sort of need to weigh the positives and the negatives. It adds a layer of strategy that really keeps your head in the game. Like I said, that left arm upgrade is a complete game changer.
Yeah, it is a very awesome way to bring life into a game that, I mean, it's not a bad game to say the least, but like after a while the formula can get kind of repetitive.
Yeah, no question. And say just past the halfway point is a perfect time to introduce that real shake 'em up.
Bone marrow.
Bone marrow. I'm hoping someone in the thread will explain how this is not biologically correct. Because I'm sure it isn't.
I could actually probably go into detail about that, but not caring.
Let the thread have some fun.
Though they had once parted, Dororo and Hyakimaru once again traveled together. Was their meeting by mere chance? Or perhaps it was fate that brought these two together? Saburota's words still lingered in Dororo's mind.
Uncomfortable
Who is
cutaways.
he? And more importantly, what did he know?
It's like, yeah, I understand establishing shot. We've established the shot like 20 seconds ago.
He swore an oath to reclaim what was
Now this is just ridiculous.
regardless of the trials that lie ahead.
And that was Chapter 5. Like I said, my favorite chapter of the game. I think it's excellent in a lot of ways. It even had some decent acting for once.
Good acting, pretty awesome bosses. Overall, give it an A+.
Yeah, cut away from the recently introduced Daigo and Tahomaru plotline, but sort of welcome, which we'll definitely be getting back to that in the future chapters. And we learned a bit about Saburota, as well as reintroducing Misaki of all things. That's an element that is unique to the game. She never appears again after her chapter in the manga.
I could only imagine bad things happening.
Yes, indeed. It's a juicy plotline right there. And thank you so much for joining me, Zane. It's been a lot of fun.
Thank you for having me. It was a pleasure.
You do a series of Yokai Corner videos that are really excellent, and I think will be of intense interest to everybody who's watched the videos this far. Since each of those videos goes in depth on the attributes and nature of a specific yokai, so I will include a link to those in the video description for this video.
Much appreciated, and we'll be glad to show a lot more in the future, too.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to more of those. And I'm looking forward to doing more of this Let's Play, so see you all next time.